Good morning. It is Monday, February 24th, and we are starting this week off with quite the challenging energy. Things are very uncomfortable right now. We actually have 7 debilitated planets at the moment. We have the moon, your emotions and your subconscious, and its detriment in Capricorn. We have Pluto, that change and transformation and its fall in Aquarius. We have Mercury, your mind, your conscious mind, your thought processes, your communication in its detriment in Pisces. Let's see, we have Venus, relationships, finances, values in its detriment in Aries. We have Uranus, the uncomfortable, shaking things up, awakening stuff in its fall in Taurus. And Jupiter is, that's expansion and beneficiaries and growth and learning in its detriment in Gemini. And Mars, our anger, our rage, our drive, our bravery, our willingness to fight, is in its fall in Cancer. And that is a lot of just being out of your comfort zone. And that's intentional. We need to step out of our comfort zone. And the more that we continue to fight that and try to maintain a sense of normalcy, the more the universe is going to keep stepping in and making you uncomfortable until you start to pay attention. Now today with the moon in Capricorn, that's putting the subconscious and emotional alignment in see, me and Mercury are fighting right now, in alignment with that Saturn in Pisces. This is really trying to get us in like our subconscious state in alignment with reality, right? And in Pisces, it's intuitive, right? But it can also be delusional. So there's a lot of people fighting against the reality of what's going on, fighting against listening to their intuition, listening to what, paying attention to what's actually happening, because it feels wrong, it feels uncomfortable, and instead they go towards Delulu land. They try to convince themselves that everything is fine, nothing wrong, bad is happening, right? And that's leading to a lot of problems. We also have Mercury moving into a conjunction with that Saturn. It's exact at like 5 a.m. Mountain Time tomorrow morning. This is going to be some like reality check type of energy when it comes to communications. Do not drive impaired. Don't let the liquor speak for you tonight. No drunk texting or calling people, because that's going to go really bad. We also have Mars direct, so all of that like anger and frustration that we've just been stewing on and we've been getting emotional about, that's really had us like just for so long since December, is now has a space to move. It's now able to start actually being active, and Mars being in its fall in Cancer, those are some very impulsive emotional reactions that are happening. Now, we have everything direct for about 5 days, but Venus is sitting still. It's moving very slow. It's already at 10 degrees, which is where it's going to station retrograde on the 1st, March 1st. So there's going to be like this really big urge to just lash out at people right now. And we're going to see a lot of people do it, especially in areas where they feel like they're not able to be themselves. They feel like they're being controlled by other people, especially within relationships, but also in financial situations as well. And all of this chaos and uncertainty that is floating around in the collective right now is going to start leading to a lot of people hitting those breaking points over the next several weeks, quite honestly. So our lesson today, because we need to pay attention to these Saturnian lessons, our lesson today is to slow down, think before we speak. Definitely make sure that you are understanding what's being said completely before reacting to it. But this is difficult energy. Remember, Saturn, we talk a lot, and this is one of my kind of irks with modern astrology, is how we bring a lot of societal expectations into it when that's really not real, okay? We always say how Saturn rewards hard work. And it does, but it actually rewards it in a patience kind of way. One of the best examples of this, I think, is Morgan Freeman, because his midheaven is ruled by Saturn, and he didn't become a famous actor until he was like 50 years old, right? There was this patience involved in it. There was the seeing it as a hobby and just something that he really enjoyed, and being willing to slow down and not like chase the carrot at the end of the pole kind of thing. And he, paying attention to the roadblocks that get in the way, paying attention to the things that slow you down, and not like pushing through all of those things. You know what I mean? I hope that kind of makes sense. I don't really know exactly how to word that, but it's not about continuously pushing and pushing and pushing. It's about slowing down and listening to spirit and being guided through the process and just being patient with it. So we really need to think about that today. Slow down when you're talking. Try your best to not to be impulsive. Definitely make sure that you're sitting in a space of reality and not Delulu land, okay? Let's go ahead and pull cards here. I'm telling you, every day of this administration has shown me exactly why the universe made my last job so unbearable that I had to leave, because it was a federal job. And I can only imagine the chaos that's unfolding over there right now, because it was already a toxic environment. And when you add this much chaos and uncertainty to an already toxic environment, it gets more toxic. So if you're finding yourself in that type of situation, it's almost a good idea to seclude yourself. Nobody's going to listen. I want to be clear here. When Saturn and Mercury are conjunct each other, it's really difficult for people to hear you, right? It's like screaming into the void, okay? So just slow down. This is an observe kind of day, instead of like flying off the handle. Okay, let's pull our cards for the day. What is our energy for the day? What is the energy for the collective for the day? Justice, right? Again, look, I'm a spicy person. I got a big mouth. I like to tell people about themselves when they're being shitty. And people are going to do that. It's going to happen. People are going to start just losing their shit on people. But it's not always the best of ideas. Sometimes it's best just to let the world do it, right? Let the universe handle it, okay? And that's kind of when we have these major arcana cards. This is the universe stepping in and creating this justice, creating this balance. We kind of look at justice as balance, but really justice is justice. It's karma, and Saturn is the planet of karma, right? So there is definitely this energy in the day of like the shit's about to hit the fan, karma's about to step in, and minding your P's and Q's when you see karma about to hit is probably one of the best things to do, so that you're not getting caught up in that karma. Instead, you're actually benefiting from it, okay? What does the collective need to focus on today? 8 of Cups. So that like spiritual trek, the spiritual journey, the really, where are you feeling really like you're ready to like pop off? Where are you feeling like you're ready to hit your breaking point, right? And kind of walking away from that situation and doing the spiritual work on that, talking to your guides, God, whoever you talk to, and doing that inner work and asking yourself, how did I get here? And how do I avoid getting here again? There's going to be a lot about boundaries, right? Mercury conjunct Saturn is also about making sure that you are speaking your boundaries and you're being very clear about them. Sorry about that. And when you're speaking these boundaries, pay attention to how people react to it. You're going to find a lot of people don't like it when you suddenly find your boundaries. Okay, and this is going to show you where you need to start walking away from certain things, certain situations, certain people, and taking care of yourself first, okay? Clarifier, or not clarifiers, jeez. I'm telling you, Mercury is killing me right now. Avoiding. We're avoiding. What are we avoiding? What is the collective avoiding today? Collective need to avoid. Page of Swords. Yeah, let's not fall into any gossipy kind of stuff. Let's slow down. Don't react. Don't just pop off. Sometimes we really just got to stay silent. It's a Saturnian day, and karma's going to do what karma's going to do, and we don't need to be on the receiving end of some bad karma, okay? Sometimes that karma will show up and you'll go, oh shoot, I need to walk away from this. Make sure that you're listening to that. Saturn brings endings. Saturn is the original planet of death, okay? It completely stops things in its tracks. So if you're having a conversation with somebody and you're laying out your boundaries and they're pushing back on it, making you feel like you're wrong for having boundaries, that might be the ending of that relationship. That might be the ending of the job that doesn't respect your boundaries, so on and so forth. So you could see conversations that happen today that completely end something. Just keep that in mind. If you see these things ending, don't fight it. Allow it to end. This is Saturn stepping in and saying, okay, you didn't do it on your own when it felt like you needed to. So now it's time for the universe to do it itself, okay? Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Pentacles. So there's this underlying energy of just wanting to be comfortable, wanting to be abundant, wanting to be in a place where you're not stressed out all the time, okay? Clarifiers for our justice here. Oh, we have 4 of Swords. It's like the scales balancing so that you can rest. Here. Like I said, if you see something in today, don't stress it. Like there's a reason for it. It's opening the door for something else. And Queen of Swords. Getting some stuff off the chest here. So Queen of Swords will cut things off, so that could be a lot of what we're seeing here with this justice is really just kind of cutting things off and saying, no, this is not what I need to do. This is holding me back. It's weighing me down, right? Trying to find this place of peace, letting your mind rest, right? So that's really kind of just the overall energy is just the universe is stepping in and saying, hey, you don't need this in your life anymore. Just make sure that you're paying attention to those things. It's showing you where to find your mental peace, basically. And it's probably happening through someone running their mouth somewhere or ignoring something. It's showing you where you need to cut things off. Clarifiers for our 8 of Cups. We have a 7 of Pentacles. It's all about weeding your garden, doing what you need to do to keep growing, right? Taking things out of your life that are holding you back, so on and so forth. And 9 of Swords. So what anxiety, what are the situations that are keeping you in a state of depression or anxiety and are keeping you from growing and continuing to move forward, right? And there's likely to be a bit of an emotional trek to this, okay? So make sure that you're taking the time to listen to the feelings as they come up, ask yourself where they're coming from, and kind of process through them to understand how you can keep yourself from getting in that same situation again and how you can even get yourself out of the situation that you're in now. This is a very spiritual day. All of this Pisces energy is always spiritual, right? So really make sure that you are listening to spirit and like how you're feeling in your physical body to show you where you need to remove things from your life. Okay. Clarifiers for the Page of Swords. Why are we avoiding Page of Swords? Ace of Swords and the High Priestess. Okay. This is actually giving me Like, you don't have to ask questions. Page of Swords can be very curious, right? And it's like, you don't need to ask for clarifying questions. You don't need to really understand somebody's intent, because your intuition is already giving you all the clarity. It's giving you all that truth. It's already telling you exactly what needs to be done. And sometimes we don't want to listen to that because we don't like what our intuition is telling us. So we go and we give other people an opportunity to lie, basically, in order to convince ourselves that maybe our intuition is wrong. It's like gaslighting ourselves, basically. So trust your intuition, trust your gut. If it's telling you to get out of a situation, get out of a situation. If it is making you feel incredibly uncomfortable, pay attention to that uncomfortableness. That is really, really important right now with the way the world is going and the way things are changing so rapidly. If it is making you feel uncomfortable, that is telling you where you need to make a change in your life. So make sure that you are listening to your intuition, you're standing your ground, you're standing on your boundaries, and you're not ignoring anything that is trying to stop right now. That is the universe stepping in and doing it for you. Let it happen.